Hey, what's up everyone? It's Keith Weldon here. Today I wanted to talk to you about some of my divination projects that I've been working on. So for the last few months I've been working on this book, the Bibliomancers Book of Answers. It's a divination book. For those of you who don't know, like bibliomancy is a form of divination that uses books to find to gather insight into divine answers through the pages. Something that's been around since like the 11th century. It's been around for a really long time. The reason I made this book is because actually I wanted this book for myself. I was looking, I used some other books and I was looking for a book like this, but I couldn't find one. There are other divination books out there, bibliomancy, oracle, divining books, right? I wanted to make essentially the ultimate divination book that had a lot more to it. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you some other examples. And this is not to knock these books at all, but I just want to show you in comparison to what I made with my book compared to other divination books that are out there. Most divination books contain a short, like, fortune telling message or like some sort of answer. Like this book, for instance, if you open it up, you're gonna get a little fortune telling message, right? And you can open up and it's got a short message. That's one of them. Here's another one. Same sort of thing. You're getting a fortune telling message. You'll see. It says absolutely not. Right? So these are just a few examples of some of the divination books that are available. With my book, I wanted to do a lot more than that. And I'll show you a quick example of what my book looks like in comparison. Okay. So with my book, it's the same sort of technique. You would open up to any page. You would ask your questions first, or what you're seeking to find out. You would open up to any page, and then you would basically interpret your answer. With mine, though, instead of just having a simple answer or a fortune-telling message, on mine, it has the yes/no answer, a Bible verse, a fortune-telling message, angel numbers, male or female, zodiac sign, color, letter, number, emotion, star sigil, sun or moon for day or night. There's a dream passage, there's magic symbols, there's runes, there's tarot cards, there's short descriptions, and partial text. So there's a lot more to use to interpret your answer or meaning or to gather insight. So another reason I made this book is because I'm not a psychic medium, right? I don't claim to be anything like that. My intuition is in a normal range. I don't claim to have any ability or supernatural ability or powers of any kind. Therefore, I rely on tools for my paranormal investigations, like ITC tools, EVP, spirit boxes, apps, whatever it is. But I wanted to have a way to perform readings on my own without having like a psychic medium do it. And so that's essentially what I created this book for, along with my seance cards as well. It's the same sort of purpose behind it, which is to take these old divination techniques and keep what makes them magical and powerful, but also add a new element to it that can be used for spirit readings as well. Like, so for instance, using this book, you can get messages. It's combined different forms of divination in a way. And sort of like a Ouija board, you can get letters to come through, you can get numbers to come through, yes, no answers. Among other things, you can use the tarot card, you can use the magic symbols, you can use the dream passages to gather text to interpret your answer. You can use Bible verses. There's many things to use, like I said, but you can use this to perform a reading at like a haunted location or something as well. And so that's kind of why I made it. And I recently did use it at the Hayes Mansion in San Jose. I got some interesting stuff come through, in my opinion, some relevant stuff about what was going on. So that was interesting. I'm still getting used to it. If there are any spirits here, if you could communicate and give me messages, please come through and provide some insight about this location, about the spirits that remain here, and anything that you want to tell me, any kind of message, please convey it through this book. Are there any spirits nearby? Yes. Can you tell me if you are male or female? Male. Can you give me a letter that is relevant? Let's see. How many spirits are in the main building of this hotel? 3. Winding roads. I'm going to do another reading with the book, and this is regarding to the Winchester Mystery House that we'll be going to tonight. If there are any spirits that have a message regarding the Winchester Mystery House, please communicate. Flickering streetlight. Something falling. While editing this, I realized that I did write down, you can see this is from the Hayes Mansion. I wrote flickering streetlight, something following me home. Shame, soaking tub, white and black. Lost spirits where time bends. Female, okay. But I forgot that I had wrote something following me home, because what's weird about that is me and Sari both felt like something followed us home. Not right away. About 2 days later, we started feeling really down, like we had some sort of attachment. And we both used this cleansing spray here to help remove the energy, the bad energy, and it actually helped. We definitely felt better afterwards. But I had completely forgot that part of my reading said something was going to follow me home from the Winchester. That's freaking crazy. If you're interested in divination, and like, this isn't for everybody, right? This is not, and it's a little different. It's not like the ITC stuff I've been doing, but if you're interested in divination, you're looking for essentially the ultimate divination book for bibliomancy, I would recommend my book, of course, the Bibliomancers Book of Answers. It's available on Amazon for $20. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. I understand it's not for everybody. Not everyone's into, divination stuff. But if you are, that's what it's for. I made it for myself, but I figured other people might want to use it as well, so it is available if you want it. The other thing I was going to talk about is my seance cards. Again, same sort of idea, which is using divination to do spirit readings. And before I really knew much about tarot cards, I used to think like, why don't people use them? Like, why can't you talk to the spirits using tarot cards, But when you really learn about tarot cards, you understand it's more of a fortune telling thing. It's more for doing like personal readings, right? For you or someone else, but it's not really to communicate with spirit necessarily. But I wanted to make something that you could use for that. You could do spirit readings essentially with it. And so here's the cards right here. On the back, it's just like that. It says Seance. What I did with these cards, and again, this was one of those things where I'm like, I wanted to make it for myself. Like, I wanted to use these cards, so I made it. It's using the tarot deck. Like, that's the foundation for these cards. They're labeled in a way where you can identify it as a tarot card. Like, for instance, this is the King of Pentacles right here, right? The Page of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Like, they're labeled. The minor cards are all labeled. The major cards are renamed, but they're still labeled with the number. Like, the major cards are numbered, and so they still have that number on them, but the names has changed. And now the major cards are more about different types of spirits, and they are similar to the normal tarot major cards, but different. And I can kind of show you an example of that with, well, this is an obvious one. Like, for instance, like the Devil card in tarot, right? Which I believe is labeled is number 15, is now the Demon card, right? But it still has the number on there, so you could identify it as the Devil card. But now it's the Demon card. And Temperance, right? Temperance is now the Angel card. And so you can see the similarities between that. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Like the World is like the Traveler. There's different ones. The Lovers is still the Lovers. It's the same one. That's the only one that's still the same. I believe Death is now the Shadow figure. And you can see a resemblance, like a cloaked figure like that. So again, there, and like the Fool card is Innocence. So you can see the similarities between the majors. But so yeah, I made these cards, and I didn't really know if I was going to release them because I really just made them for myself. But a few people have showed some interest in it, and I kind of want to make stuff available for people if they want it. So I am working right now with a third-party card printing company that will basically, they will handle all the printing, shipping, payment processing, all that stuff for me. Which means I'm only getting a few bucks out of each deck that's sold. They're getting most of the money and goes to them, right? Because they're the ones doing all the work, essentially. So, and so I won't have any say in, as far as payment processing and shipping costs and all that stuff. That's all on them. But they're willing to basically have the deck available, so I can put a link on my website, which I will be soon. I'll be putting a link on chillseekers.com. For people who are interested in these seance cards, you can purchase them. They will be available. And, I've been thinking about maybe doing another deck in the future. If there's a lot of interest in these ones, like I've thought of other ways to improve these and make them better. And that's something I would be interested in doing, and maybe even making and shipping and doing all that stuff myself if there's a lot of interest in it. I mean, I know there are a ton of different tarot decks out there that are available. None of them really quite like this one, but still there's a lot of them available. So, I don't know if it's something that a lot of people really want, but yeah, if there's a lot of interest in it, I might do another deck, because I've already been thinking of a ton of the things that I'm like, I can improve upon it this way and this way and this way. But for now, I'm still using these ones. And I'm actually waiting to get, this is from a different company. I'm waiting for the deck to come in from that third party that I'm going to be using. And once I get those in and I check them out and they look legit, that's when I'll make them available. I kind of want to quality test them first, right? If they come in looking all jacked up, then I'm not going to sell them. But I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. I did have a change, I had to change a few things and do some redesigning for this company, because they had certain rules and stuff as far as bleeding areas and safe zones and stuff. So I did have to move some stuff around and redesign some stuff, but essentially it's the same deck. Just gonna wait and see how those look when they come in, and if they're cool, then I'm gonna make them available for other people if you're interested in it. I would love it to be a lot cheaper. Unfortunately, I don't set the prices. That's on them. So it is, I think about $35 for the deck, plus shipping and all that. So it's not cheap, but like I said, I don't really have any control over that. It's not my... So that's it, guys. I wanted to show you guys, I've been working on these cards. That's what I've been doing lately, is working on these different divination projects. Like that book took a long time to make. I know it looks simple, but it actually took a really long time. It took a few months of a lot of hours and hours and hours and hours of working on it. And I had to go back and revise it and all this stuff. So it wasn't an easy task, but I got it done. I'm actually kind of proud of it. I think it works really well so far. Like I said, I've only used it a couple times. I'm going to be using it more as I go to other haunted locations and stuff, and just doing some readings, either, before or after an investigation, whatever it is, kind of just taking notes that I can compare later on. And it's just kind of something I'm really interested in divination stuff. So that's something I wanted to do. I wanted to show you guys, I collect Ouija boards. So I don't use Ouija boards that much anymore. I did in the past. And like most people, or a lot of people, their first introduction into spirit communication is the Ouija board. When I was a teenager, I had a crazy experience using a Ouija board. And I'm not going to go into it too much, but I actually mentioned it in my book, because it was in this page right here, which I'll show you. I talk about this experience that I had with the Ouija board when I was younger, and it was the first paranormal, supernatural experience that I've ever had that I still remember to this day. It really changed my whole outlook on the paranormal and supernatural stuff. I don't know if I would be here today if this didn't happen. That's how much it's sort of like my origin story. It's the foundation of when I was like, oh, wow. No, this is real. There's real supernatural shit going on here. And that's when I really sort of realized, no, this is real. There's real shit, So I think before that, most people, they're just kind of whatever, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But when you have a really profound experience, whether you're a kid or a teenager, an adult, whatever, it really makes you think wow, okay, there's something to this. And so that really stuck with me. Even though I didn't get into paranormal investigating for years later, that always stuck with me in my mind and made me think like, okay, there's something to this. And I don't want to get into it right now. Like, I've told this story before many times, actually. It's in the book, it's on my website. But yeah, it was a crazy Ouija board experience. So, anyway, I'm going to get into, I want to show you guys my Ouija board collection. So, this is something I've been doing for a while now. Um, and the types of Ouija boards that I collect are more like licensed Ouija boards, or Ouija boards that come from certain locations, like mostly haunted or infamous locations of some kind. That's what I'm looking for, or certain licensed Ouija boards. Not just collecting any and all Ouija boards. That's not what I'm doing. But I wanted to show you what I do have now. I think my collection has become pretty cool. So first up, this is the last Ouija board I purchased. It's recent. Unfortunately, I didn't get it at this location. It's one of my bucket list locations, but I thought this was a really cool Ouija board. It's the Salem, Massachusetts Ouija board. And it would have been way cooler to get this in Salem, but I just got it at the local mall. I saw it and I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't have that one. I love, like, Salem is like one of those places that eventually I'm going to go to. It's on my bucket list, I guess. And this is what I mean by licensed Ouija boards. This is the Exorcist Ouija board from the movie The Exorcist. So that one, you can see these are all kind of recent ones. Beetlejuice Ouija board. A lot of these are still wrapped, like in the plastic, because I'm just collecting them. And here is, this one's really cool. I'm so tempted to open it, but I haven't. There's a little piece missing on the back, but Child's Play 2. This box is like heavy. Super cool. Child's Play, Chucky, Good Guy doll. Went and grabbed some more. This one is pretty cool. This one uses it's the tabula mortum. Uses like a pendulum style. And this one is from the Whaley House in San Diego. Really famous haunted house in San Diego. So some of these are from locations like that, like I mentioned. This is from the infamous haunted Toys R Us in Sunnyvale, California. I went there to check it out. It's no longer a Toys R Us anymore, but yeah, well, it was still a Toys R Us. I went there and I got that Ouija board. It was like on sightings and stuff back in the day. It was pretty well known haunted Toys R Us. This is the Wednesday Addams Ouija board. There's kind of a glare. A lot of these are in plastic still. But this is the Ouija board, the Wednesday Ouija board. This one is one of my favorites. It's the Halloween 3 Ouija board from the movie Halloween 3. If you remember that, with the silver shamrock. It was like the Halloween that wasn't about Michael Myers. Elvira Spectral Switchboard. Everyone knows who Elvira is. So that's cool. This one is from the Gothic Prayer Ouija board. This one is from, if you see it right there on the sticker, the Haunted Museum, Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum in Las Vegas. That's where I got that one at. Hellboy, from the movie Hellboy. Hellboy Ouija board, talking board. This one's really cool, the Ozzy Osbourne. From what I've heard, he, back in the day, this is like, from what I understand, it was like he was on tour and like all the VIP ticket holders or whatever got this limited Ouija board that came with their stuff. That's the story I've heard about it. Pretty cool. Supernatural Ouija board from the show Supernatural. And of course, Stranger Things from the show Stranger Things. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching my video. Checking out my Ouija board collection and my book and my seance cards. So next week's video will be a video I shot back last year when I was in Goldfield, Nevada, visiting Tonopah and all of that. This is the Goldfield Cemetery. So I stopped by the Goldfield Cemetery and walked around for a little bit. This is when the Necrometer update was fairly new, and I think it had came out or was gonna come out soon or whatever. I think it might have been before the update actually came out, but I was using it at the Goldfield Cemetery. So hope you liked that video. I'm gonna be going back to the Amador County Courthouse and jail pretty soon and trying to investigate further at that location. Also probably going to be testing my new app that I'm working on. More information about that will be coming soon. Still trying to get everything going good on it. Still working on that project, but yeah, I'm going to be back at the Amador County Courthouse. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's got some amazing communication. It actually says Amador County, like, pretty clearly. And yeah, there was a lot of other communication came through. This door opened up seemingly on its own. So yeah, it was very interesting. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that video out. And anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you guys soon in the next one.